What's up, my loves? It's your girl Diamond. I'm back with my own review of the Belle Collective. So it pick up where we left off with the girls fighting, okay? Letitia wants Akeisha to kiss her ass to thank her for bringing on to be a part of the group, be a part of the girls. But Akeisha is not buying it. She's not doing it. And talking about Letitia's whack ass brunch, which was whack. And Letitia called her a bitch because of the brunch. Tambra stepping in to be the mediator. I don't know what's going on with Letitia's mind because she's all about, I gave you a seat at the table. You begged to be at this table. You begged for a seat, this and that and third. And Akeisha said, if you claim that you brought me here, then make sure your plates are clean, okay? Presentation is everything, and you not showing me that. And Letitia is in the land of milk and cookies because she says that she gave Akeisha access to the Fair Street Project and she felt betrayed by her. And I'm like, what did she do to you? And the Pharisee Project, that's been your storyline for this season and last season, that you haven't shown any updates. We haven't seen any scenes with you breaking ground, speaking to contractors, showing the building plans. We haven't seen none of that. I feel like you're giving us fluff and you want to talk about something else that doesn't remind us that you have talked about this Pharisee Project, but you haven't done nothing to show for it. And going back and forth, Akeisha said, I see insecurity and jealousy all over you, honey. And I'm like, you right, Akeisha, because I see it too. And Letitia said, first of all, I have no insecurity. You have insecurity because nobody wanted you when you were born. My mouth dropped. I was like, Letitia, who? What? Why would you say that? So Akeisha definitely felt some way about that comment. She said, first of all, my grandfather left me generational wealth. Your grandfather left you a story. The fact that you would say something like that, that was something deep rooted inside of you that you wanted to hurt somebody else. And who told her that Akeisha was never wanted by her family? Who said that? After that, it's the whole ugly comment that came about how you said you called us ugly. She said, I never said that. Who told you that? It was Tamra. She said, well, Tamra's a motherfucking lie because I ain't say that shit. Even, let's go back the other day. She told me she didn't even say that to y'all. So then she said, let me get Marie. Let me get Marie on FaceTime. Hey, girl, look. Who said that we was ugly besides Tamra? Marie said, Akeisha. So Akeisha told Tambra to tell us that we were ugly. And Latrice said, Tambra said she had nothing to do with it, but Tambra wanted to speak up for herself. So she remembers telling the girls that Akeisha can be blunt. She can throw shade. But she said, I never said that they were ugly. I never said that. She said, you said, well, was there any cute girls in Jackson? That still doesn't imply that she said, were they ugly, meaning Marie and Letitia. It still doesn't mean that, Latambra. Why would you want to add that when she said there's no cute girls in Jackson, that meant them? Unless it was directed towards them, I don't know. Was it a statement that wasn't in complete context? So it's going back and forth because since Tambra put out a PSA announcement that Akeisha has a blunt personality, she has no problem saying what she said. But at the end of the day, she said, listen, I never said that. You can believe her all you want to, but at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck no more, all right? So right now, she is shocked that Tambra said these things, and she knows that Tambra is a liar. Because why would I say that you guys aren't pretty? You guys are very pretty. I have a lot of friends from Jackson that are very beautiful. And Letitia said, and I never thought that you would say that because when we first met, you said I was pretty, Marie was pretty, I said you were pretty. So where did the ugly comment came from? Letitia said, Tambra told me that you said that, and you also said not to fuck with her because of how blunt she could be. So I expected for Tambra to be a little bit more direct with me and stop throwing out little subliminals to watch out for a person if she's not about this person that you like. You see how I'm getting fumbled up because why would Tambra explain to her friends that this friend could be a little bit shady, a little bit blunt, watch your way around her? Is that not your friend, Tambra? Why would you give a warning about a friend that you call a friend? That don't make no sense. So she didn't have any bad blood with the ladies. They didn't have any bad blood with her. But right now, the blame is placed on me because of what I said, but I didn't say. I also feel like Tambra don't understand, where did you hear Akeisha said verbatim that she called them ugly? She said, when I first heard, I thought you were playing. Keisha said, okay, well, let's go with that. If you thought I was playing, why would you play it up as if I said it for real, like I was serious? But even though I could see that maybe Akeisha and Tamara were joking about the ladies. I can see that. I can see Akeisha being funny, being goofy, being petty. But for Tamara to take it as if Akeisha flat out called them ugly, I don't believe that. So Tamara and Akeisha going back and forth. They asked me what you said, and I'm going to tell them what you said. She slammed the table like K. Michelle. Woo! This girl is shaking the table. I was like, Tamara, for real? So it's shocking. They've never seen this side of Tamara before. Not even last season when her and Antoinette got into it. And I was on Antoinette's side because Tamara was doing too much, in my opinion, with her high pitched voice. So when Latrice was about to get up and break them apart, you see Letitia over there holding the phone so Marie can see everything. She telling Latrice to sit her ass down because she wants to watch things go down. Letitia, how are you supposed to be calling out somebody who doesn't want to empower women, wants to be looking down upon women, and you're allowing it to happen? You're allowing for two women to argue. You're not about to step in and say, wait, we can have another way of talking. Really, Letitia? How is someone who wants to represent being empowered, being all about womanhood and sisterhood, and you're not stopping two women from fighting? You're allowing it to happen. Okay, Letitia. She likes to see things fall apart. She does. So Sophia talking about Tamara is the cause of all the arguments because right now she messed some things up and it's backfiring in her face. And this is how she has to act to cover up what she did. And Sophia was right. Tamara is the one who told other people what Akeisha said, and she's the one who talked about Akeisha's personality without letting them get to know her for themselves. And spoke about this, spoke about that, and now saying that she never said that. She said this, she said that. The whole she can be shady but not being shady. Tamara, tomato, doesn't matter. Shade is shade, okay? And Latrice then gets up and gets into the middle of Akeisha and Tamara. They said, Tamara, you better watch out. You better watch out. Latrice was pulling Tamara apart, and Tamara said, Akeisha know me. We ain't about to do this. She know me. She know me. Tamara did not expect to argue with Akeisha, but she felt as though the comment was unnecessary, and I'm not about to sit here and make it out to be like I'm a liar when you said it. So all of this is because she's not owning up, but she believes that she said more things. But I feel like Akeisha might have said something, but Tamara blew it up way more than it should have been. So it separates. You know what I'm saying? Tamara's on one end, Akeisha's on the other side. And I don't know what happened. Tamara just said we need to work together. We're better together than apart. I'm like, how are we now want to do a kumbaya when y'all just became face to face with one another? Make that make sense. And Tamara wants to say if I did not like her, I would not have brought her around y'all. And that made everybody was like, Tamara, make it make sense, okay? You're telling us that she called us ugly, but then you're also saying that you didn't like her, you wouldn't brought her around. What? So then Marie is still on FaceTime watching everything. And apparently they developed a group chat with one another. Tamara did not want to be a part of it if Akeisha was on it. So it's confusing if you don't want to be a part of a group chat with a certain person, but said you like her. You knew her from high school. You have history with her, but you don't want to be a part of a group chat with her. Make that make sense. So now Tamara don't remember her ever saying that she didn't want to be part of a group chat with Akeisha. So is Tamara really the liar? Or wait, make that make sense. I feel like Tamara got called out more than once and she still did not clear her name. Then they cut that off. This intervention is not working. Now Latrice wants to bring up Demond. Are you guys together or not? So then Marie recalls a time that Tamara hung out with Marie and there was a man with Tamara. And she thought that that was her man. No, that was my friend from Dallas. That's my platonic friend. We have a friendship. Nothing else. That's it. So do they want to know, is she with Demond or not? I didn't see an answer. I didn't see a conversation. Cut off from there. They cut it short, and then the intervention was not a good idea. Tamara admits that she should not have repeated what Akeisha said to the girls. I felt like if that was your friend, you've known her longer than you've known these girls, you should show her a little bit more of loyalty to not talk about everything she said. Like, for real, Tamara, I don't trust you. And Letitia apologizes to Akeisha if she projected anything on her, but then she said, bitch, I'm pretty. And Akeisha said, I received your apology. All of y'all are beautiful. I'm happy to be in the room. I'm happy to get to know y'all. But Plategate is over. There's no need to talk about the plates anymore. Thank God. Akeisha is accepting the apology, wanting to move forward, but she doesn't trust these girls no more. I see how they get down. So I'm watching them. And to be honest, I'm not mad. I agree with Akeisha. Seeing how Tamara threw her under the bus, allowed her to be by herself, getting isolated from the other girls, because Tamara put out what Akeisha could be without them getting to know them for themselves. And the whole Letitia thing, it's just like too much, because I feel like Letitia is coming off from a place of jealousy and insecurity because of what Akeisha represents. Akeisha has land. She has historical history with Ferris Street. Letitia don't have that. All she has is a story that her grandfather told her about Ferris Street. No actual connection to it. But we're gonna move on from that. Sophia. Sophia meets up with Latrice to look for a second location for Goddess Links. I love that they both came in yellow. Yellow was a very beautiful color on their skin. And the first building was built in 1924. Now, Sophia's happy to help out Latrice because they both came from the same hometown. And after the intervention, Latrice does not care about what the other ladies are going through. So looking at this building, like I said, it's an historical building, have a lot of history behind it, so she can't just break it down, add any walls, cut down the ceilings. No, it has to be as is. So she wants a modern look on things. Sophia has to show her more buildings because since her shop is located in the poverty areas, she wants to still be connected to that because she really wants to have a plaza where everybody can have access to be in service from her goddess links and everything else. So that's pretty much what her dream is. And I love the fact she still wants to be connected to that because while she is moving on up, she wants to still have that connection. So Sophia wants to link up and have some more fun because they had a great time going ATV riding. So Latrice said, what about a family fun day? That's cool. We are a blended family. Let's bring our families along. So Latrice is becoming okay with the idea of having children because she wants a legacy. She wants to leave something behind for somebody. It would be nice for her to see someone who looks like her in this world. Keisha. Keisha is talking about coming home and eating a pig ear sandwich. Now, she was in Ferris Street today and she had to stop by Big Apple Inn to get her 2 pig ear sandwich, okay? She asked Willie, do you want to try a pig ear sandwich? Say that again. Do you want to try a pig-eared sandwich? No, I do not. Okay? He tried it, didn't like it. He misses New York. He wants pizza, bagels, good restaurant. Okay? Eating a pig-ear sandwich is not appetizing or appealing. But she loves it. It's home. She misses it. And I'm not knocking that. Okay? Have your Southern home cuisine delicacy. I don't eat chitlins. I don't eat pig feet, pig ears. I do eat duck. I've eaten lamb, okay? But none of that. None of that. It's, oh my God, it's reminding me of when I went to Superior. And, you know, when you go to the deli section, they have it on display of what meat they have. They have cow tongue, cow intestines, pig ears, pig's feet. No, ma'am. I'm straight. Not knocking it, just not for me. So right now she was meeting up with the contractors about the restaurant that they're going to open up in Jackson like they have one in New York. Then he talks about meeting up with the fellas for fishing, but it led to being a therapy session because Glenn opened up about how his marital troubles, the affair he had, and the rumor that there was a baby out there. Now, Akeisha wanted Willie to hang out with the husbands in order to convince him to stay in Jackson, but it's not going to be convincing if all he's hearing that Jackson is known for having infidelities. No, that's not only it though. Eating pig-eared sandwiches is not going to be convincing as well, okay? Nothing you will say would convince this man to stay in Jackson, Mississippi. So she talks about what's been going on with her. How she heard from her makeup artist that Marie had a birthday party she was not invited to. She also said that Tambra told the girls that she felt some type of way that they were not at her birthday party. And the excuses was for they not liking her. So they get together to discuss the issues. Marie's on FaceTime, and she's finding out that the reason why they didn't like me and they didn't come was based off what Tamra told them. So her and Letitia get into it over the damn brunch again because Letitia felt that Akeisha was coming in thinking that she was better than other people, high and mighty, right? Even though she did have that energy, we're not going to place the whole blame on Akeisha because Letitia, you was being very unprofessional with the dirty plates and arguing with Marie. But there was something that Letitia said that bothered me. She said that I was born into a family that didn't even want me. He said, no, she didn't. Yes, she did. So we get to her story. She was raised by her aunt. Her aunt legally adopted her. Her biological mother gave her up. Her father and her mother were in a complicated relationship. She resented her mother for it, but became appreciative in life because her aunt gave her love that her mother didn't. And the fact that Letitia would use that to hurt her, at this point she can tell how Letitia moves, and she doesn't want to be in any form of business with her. And I'm not mad at that. I'm happy you're pulling out of doing business with her. Because anybody that will be shady towards me in business and shady towards me in life, I want no part of it. And she's right. Because I still want to know, what did Akeisha do to Letitia that required for Letitia to air her out like that? And who told her about that? Was it Tambra? Did Tambra, warm up to Letitia and tell her to give her a chance? She's a very nice person. She's been through some things and talked about it. But Letitia used that against her. I ain't about to be cool with nobody who wants to use my hurt against me, who wants to go out of their way to use my past trauma to hurt me, Marlo. I'm not doing that. That's not a friend. And that's not somebody you want to be in business with at all. This was the test to see if Akeisha could move forward with Letitia in a business manner. And now that was a failed test, moving forward. So right now, she is not about to be sweet with these women. She's not about to defend her, not explain herself. Whatever they believe about her, she's going to show it. Believe what you heard about me, and this is what you're going to get, period, okay? So Willie talks about how his wife is super sweet, and to make a comment that's so disrespectful, that lets me know who you are. And let's be clear, we're nice people. We can fight dirty too. And I ain't mad at that as well, because they can fight dirty. The fact that Willie was hearing from Glenn, admit that there was an affair, admit that there is a child, but don't want to do a DNA test. Oh, he could definitely spray him. Spray him if need be. Spray Letitia if need be. Oh, for real, they can back that up as well. And I'm not mad at all. But he's complaining about how there's no food. She hasn't cooked. She said, go look in the refrigerator and go find something to eat, because he is done being in Jackson, Mississippi. He cannot find nothing good about Jackson, Mississippi. He keeps looking down upon Jackson, Mississippi. I'm like, boy, you only been here for 2 months. You losing your shit already? Boy, really, go somewhere. So Tambra is preparing for the fashion show, Rock the Runway. And it's the highlight of the event for Jackson, Mississippi. Melanie came in checking on her about what happened at Sister Intervention. They talk about how Tisha's energy was off the chain. She snapped. And how her and Keisha got back and forth, getting to each other's faces, but they were never going to put their hands on each other. Now, the whole thing that happened, she wants to know, did you hear Akeisha say word for word that they was ugly? Tambra said no. That was not the word that was used. That was Tisha's interpretation. So you allow for Tisha to carry on that narrative that Akeisha was calling them ugly when she never said that. Tambra, you messy. Point blank period. You messy, and you allow for your friend, air quotes, to be read like that. Put her out to be the bad guy when she really didn't do nothing. She was being shady, and you being her friend, you spoke to them about being shady. Like, girl. So the intervention did not go right. She does feel bad about getting into it with Akeisha, and you should feel bad. Because why couldn't you keep the conversation between you and your friend private? Why you went and tell them that? So now the fashion show. Melanie has clients that are walking. Tambra wants to know, will you walk? She said the last time I walked was in 2005, and I was Miss Atlanta, okay? But it will be shots to you walk. Sophia's walking in as well. You know, she got the body for it. Next, Sophia. Sophia is talking to her daughter, who is 6 months pregnant. And Sophia is comparing the life that her stepdaughters are living versus them Dee, because the twins and Sanjay are moving on up with dancing, in school, possibly business. I believe one of the twins is married and about to have a baby. And you got her daughter who is pregnant. She doesn't know what her daughter wants to do. She thinks that her daughter is afraid of the outside world. I mean, have you spoken about it? Have you talked to your daughter about what her plans are after she gets pregnant, after she has the baby? What are her plans for school, business? What is your daughter's interest? We don't know. So the twins and Sanjay are home for the weekend, and they have a deep conversation about what's been going on. The family has not been as close. So before the girls came over, Dee spoke to her mother about she will be opening up about some things that she has held on to for a long time, and she's ready to get off her chest. Basically, when JJ and Sophia got together, Sophia went through a lot of hoops of making the girls happy than her own children. She went out of her way to be present for the twins and Sanjay than her own children. And it's like, okay, so you went through everything to make this family perfect, but forgot you had children right here. Maybe that's why Dee feels like she wasn't accepted or wasn't included, because you made your daughter feel that way. I feel like that's where the majority of the blame is towards. Then talking about, they were close when they were younger, but when they got older in teenage years, that's when they kind of like separated. People having their own interests and different wants and needs stuff. So this is the first time in 10 years that they are opening up about things. But Dee felt bullied. She felt that she wasn't included. She wasn't liked. The twins and Sanjay was like, we felt bullied too. Whenever we would try to include you on things, say what's up, how you doing, you gave a hi, not really interested, not really, standoffish. You isolate yourself. Then it came a time where they both showered with each other when they were small, but one of the twins made a comment that she was dirty, did not want to use their soap. So colorism comes into play by how she felt that she wasn't included or wasn't liked because she was dark skinned when you got 3 light skinned girls on the table. Now I have no idea if they were not aware about how it came off to her. They didn't deny it. Maybe it could have been a different way of feeling it, because maybe the whole reason why she doesn't feel like she was accepted, maybe because of her mother. Her mother went through so much into making the girls feel accepted and perfect. Maybe Sophia showed favoritism to the twins and Sanjay more than she did her own daughter. And maybe that's where the whole colorism, favoritism lied to, because I've dealt with colorism in my family as well. I understand how that can make you feel. I wanted both of them to understand how the other person felt. Sanjay said that it was all in her head, that she would make comments about why aren't there many brown skins, people like my color around. So if you made comments about that, that means you think about it a lot. But Sophia did not know this about her daughter. She didn't know that she was this hurt. And I felt as though, Sophia, maybe you was not talking to your child enough. You were so focused on making JJ and the girls more comfortable in this blended family, you forgot about yours. Maybe. And agree to disagree, a lot of back and forth. She doesn't like feeling slighted. She doesn't like feeling like I'm the problem child. I'm making things up because it's not me. And maybe it was a transition of the blending of the families. Sometimes when you're blending in family members, it's not going to always work right. And I do believe that, because since Sanjay and the twins were already a package deal, they were sisters. They had their own language, their own friends, their own relationship, their own connections. And bringing in somebody else that they really don't know you, maybe that's where the whole not included came from. They had their own clique. Dee was by herself. So maybe that's where, we never included you on certain things. You always didn't want me around in a way. So it's the first time they're having this conversation. It's not gonna get cleaned up overnight. And they were both talking about how if that made you feel the way, why didn't you say anything? Because we don't know how you felt if you never expressed it. And she said the reason why was because I don't think that my feelings are being hurt. I don't think that my feelings are being considered. That could be a factor. It could be a factor. She didn't feel that her feelings would have been considered warranted, considered understood, and also if you felt as though that you were not going to be included. You know what I'm saying? And I also think that maybe because the girls, all of the popularity was on the girls because of the show, that we didn't see that part of the family. But she's been holding this in for 10 years. And she has time to heal. JJ wants everybody to come together, be more of a family, because a baby's coming into the mix. So we want her to be here. We want to know that she's loved. We want to include her on certain things. And you guys have to start all over again with having a relationship. They were so close as children, but now that they're adults, maybe they can start all over again. But it doesn't always have to be that. Y'all could just be respectful towards one another. Y'all can have your own sets of friends, your own sets of connections if y'all want to. It doesn't necessarily have to be we're going to be friends. You don't have to be friends with family members. You don't have to. Especially with siblings. You don't have to. But if there is love there, there's level of respect, then that's all needs to be understood. But if they all want to develop a sisterly bond with each other, it has to be reciprocated on both parts. And I'm understanding of that because I'm a part of a blended family myself. My mother married my stepfather when I was around 8, 9. And he already had two daughters. Those are my stepsisters, but I don't call them my stepsisters. I look at them as my sisters. Then my other two sisters came along. Those are my half sisters, but I do not look at them as half siblings. I look at them as my sisters. So blending the family is never easy. It is tough. Sometimes it works good, sometimes it works bad, and sometimes it takes time. And I believe this is one situation where it took time. It's been over 10 years. Dee has never expressed this. Sophia did not communicate with her daughter to discuss her feelings. And I believe that this was too much stress on Dee to express herself because she is 6 months pregnant, and the other girls were emotional. So one step at a time. That's all it needs. One step at a time. Tambra, it's the fashion show. Okay, we see Letitia walking with Glenn. She said it's for a charity. It's for appearances only. Appearances for who? If this is supposed to be a highlight of Jackson, Mississippi, who's asking that you and Glenn come together? Who? Letitia, go away from me. Just say you want to back together with him. It's okay. It's okay. Saying how you call the truce. It's for appearances only. Girl, bye. Y'all was holding hands and everything. Good night. Akeisha about Rock the Runway is the hottest event in Jackson. She is so excited to go. Hearing that Tambra is the host, she don't care. She just here to support. She don't care. None whatsoever. Models come in. You know, they had the Jackson State University band there. Melanie. When Melanie walk in, all I see is legs and hips and body. Come on, Melanie. Come on, show me legs, hips, and body. All that and then some, the whole package. I'm like, yes, Melanie, give me glamazon tees, okay? The ladies was proud of Melanie. She was doing the damn thing. Then we see Sophia walk. You know, JJ is her biggest cheerleader. Talking about how good she was looking. He started throwing money all the way down from when she's walking. He gets on stage following her, throwing money. I'm like, JJ, sit down. Sit down. Like, listen, JJ, you were just as goofy and animated. Just don't bring it, okay? I feel like you like being the center of attention. You like it. And when Sophia was walking, that was her moment. And I felt like you doing your little money antics, that was your moment, and you took Sophia's moment away, in my opinion. You could have sat there and said, that's my baby, go baby. You getting up on stage throwing money, too much for me. Okay? You could have sat down. So it starts off with the speech, how we've had a good time. Then Damon walks up on stage giving her flowers. It would have been the time to propose, but he didn't. So then we're in the intermission or the reception area after the show. Everybody was proud of her. Letitia is barging in on Cliff, Glenn, JJ, and Damon meeting each other, talking about how I knew him as Greedy. I didn't know him as Damon. He is tired of hearing that nickname. My name is Damon. Don't call me Greedy no more, okay? Then Letitia, I believe she was drunk. I really do think Letitia was drunk. She had a cup in her hand. She was moving all over the place, and she grabs Damon over to have a conversation. And, you know, talking about this emotional connection he had with Taisha. And I did not like how Letitia's being so pushy and so involved and invested into a situation that has nothing to do with her. And girl, you need to go lay down somewhere, please. So she said that it's hard to be in the middle of two people who are at odds with one another and don't want to break girl code. I'm like, what are you talking about, Letitia? You are in the land of milk and cookies. First of all, it is not your business nor your place to hear from Damon about this emotional connection. It's not your business. Go somewhere. You told Tambra, you know Tambra told him, let it be that. Why do you still put your nose in this? And you're not in the middle. You place yourself in the middle. You should do what you bitch should have done. Hear from Taisha, told Tambra, and leave it alone. Or tell Taisha to tell her damn self. Didn't I need to involve yourself at all in this? So I don't know what's going on in her head, but she found this to be the right time to tell him it wasn't. He said, listen, I'm not about to do this no more. It takes two to tango, and I'm not tangoing. Okay? And the involvement that Letitia had, he didn't like it, okay? Because in the confessional, he's talking about how Letitia wants to be a representation of a sisterhood, a bond, but you're talking about something that's going to get a rise at somebody. That's not being a sisterhood. That's not being a friend. And it's not, because Letitia is way too involved in another situation that's nothing to do with her because of what she's going through, and she wants to break somebody else's happiness. That's what she does. So Tamara's probably feeling embarrassed, hurt, but he said, don't bring her into this. She has nothing to do with this. So she would not be giving this no energy. And Demond said this happened in 2014. Now, what I wanted to know was, did you have something going on with Taisha and you broke it off when Tamara and you were getting back together, or was it done way before then until it got to this point? Because you and Tamara were on and off, right? But what I want to know is, how long was this with Taisha? If it wasn't that long, then it's no need to bring Tamara into this. This was way before him and Tamara got back together. But if this is current, that this was a conversation that wasn't clear and she wants an explanation, then yes. But if there was no crossing between him and Tamara, then there's no need for a conversation. If you were just something to pass the time before he was waiting for Tamara to come back, then that's what you're going to need to accept. Because if he's waited for Tamara to come back and say, let's start over, let's get back together, and they're now talking about moving in together, a baby, a marriage, then Taisha, your place, you wasn't a serious relationship. You was just something in between. You wasn't nothing serious. And it shows that he's with her. So you want an explanation of a man that you never really had, or it wasn't a relationship. I don't know. Don't bring this up no more. I'm not entertaining this. Latrice believes that their relationship is not real. They're hiding something. I don't know what is there to hide, because you guys haven't seen them around. They just got back together. They will not be bringing you guys around one another unless their relationship is solidified. So as you know, she's walking over to talk. Letitia's still talking, don't know what she's saying. The security guard is coming in between Tamara and Demond to remove them. And it's like, what's going on? Why is she being removed? I don't know. I guess to him, the situation got out of hand. Letitia was like, what's going on? Why is he here? Oh, she's our own security guard. And that's where we're in it right then and there. Next episode, Letitia will be even more messy by bringing Taisha in the mix, and Tamara will leave. And everybody was like, why is Tamara leaving? Because this has been the same woman that Letitia's been talking about, had an emotional connection with my man that I ain't got no time for. It has nothing to do with me. I'm not about to entertain her, so I'm leaving. I'm about to deal with this. So I don't know. Like, this is too much for me, and it's just kind of like, why is it so important for Letitia to get an understanding from them? It's not your business. Go somewhere and find something else to do, Letitia. Let them figure out their relationship. Yes, it's on camera. You want an explanation, but when they're ready to give it, go somewhere and fix yourself with Glenn, please. But y'all, that's all I have. Please stay tuned for my next video. I'm going to see you guys later. Bye.